Hello, welcome. Oh, let me mute that. Sorry. Okay, welcome to a Thursday night Facebook class with CJ Card Creations. My name is Christy Hillock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Salt Lake City, Utah. I am so grateful for you, whether you are watching me live or if you are catching me on the replay. I just really appreciate you being here, and I hope you'll drop a comment so that I know you are here. It also always helps me if you like and share my videos so that Facebook knows that there is some value here. So let me get started with just a few things. So probably the main thing, you know that it's celebration. Hey, Janie, thanks for being here and sharing. Celebration is our super special time of year. It's kind of the only time that there's really a sale. So what they do is for every $50 order or for every $100 order, you get to order a free item out of this catalog. So I have all sorts of fun projects that I have done with the different free items. Hey, Mom, thanks for being here. And they have all been great. However, I have used all of them. And so at the beginning of February, I was really excited when they expanded the celebration offering to include things that are in the current catalogs as well. And we are actually going to use a couple of those free items tonight because they are really good and I think you're going to want to get them. So the other thing that's awesome about Celebration is that right now is the absolute best time to join as a demonstrator. Now, that sounds scary because anybody who has had previous experiences with direct sales may think that it's like a pyramid scheme and there's all sorts of secrets that you're not going to know about until you're already signed up. That is not Stampin' Up! So this is a great company to work with. There is no obligation to do anything once you buy the starter kit. So basically, you're just getting an insane deal and that's it. But if you want to be part of my team and get some of the different classes that I do and the community and just all the things, it's a really great opportunity for that as well. So right now, you can order $175 worth of product plus get, and I caved you guys, and I got this cute little mini machine that's in the boho blue, which is a color coming out with our next catalog. So for you get all of that for $129. And so you're actually getting, I can't do math, 175 plus 63 is what, like 100 or $238 worth of value. Plus you get a paper pumpkin, plus you get business supplies. If you wanted to share catalogs, it's basically just catalogs. So, hey, Jane, I can't believe you're here. I hope you're feeling well. If you have any questions about that deal, let me know. I would have pulled all like an example of all the products that you can get in that starter kit. It's totally up to you what you put in it. But honestly, it's so much stuff that I just couldn't even face making that kind of mess in here because I kind of have cleaned lately. So I'll just help you through it if you're interested. Next, I have let me see. I have a class in person here on March 13th. So there's a registration link for that. The new paper pumpkin is called 10 Years of Growth. So March is the birthday for Paper Pumpkin. And this is their 10th anniversary or 10th birthday. Anyway, so they're giving us a free stamp set in addition to the exclusive stamp set that will be part of the regular Paper Pumpkin. The kit will make 9 cards and comes with a polished pink ink spot and coordinates with a bunch of other really pretty colors. And it's all about happy greetings and organic and botanical designs. So I think it's going to be really pretty. It's a special box as well, and the box is gorgeous. So that is always a good indicator that what's inside is going to be fun. So that is what I wanted to tell you. So I'm going to switch cameras here and then show you a few more things and get started on tonight's projects. I have 3 special card projects for you tonight, and I think that you're going to love them. But first, I wanted to show you, I got some Valentines, and I felt so special because it just really, really did make my day, to be, you know, treated like people appreciate me. So this gorgeous card is from Dear Jane, who's on here. And I love the way she used the glimmer paper and this little heart and the brass butterflies. It's gorgeous. So thank you for that. This cute little tag is from Ellie, and I love pink, so this was perfect. I just really, really love the tag. And then it came with some strawberry fudge that is long gone, and it was amazing. And then I've been dying to dive into this because, so how cute is that little owl? And party owl holding a little heart was just perfect. And then, so this is from Julie. And she found these cute little chocolates. I can't wait to eat that. And I am not sharing with the kids, let me just tell you. And then Janie got me this awesome mug. Janie's part of my downline. And it came also with this fun keychain with a bee. And my team is called the Queen Bees. And so it was just perfect. So these ladies are so dear to me. And I am just really, really grateful for all of those gifts. So let's see. I'm going to pull this into the screen. Maybe. There we go. And that's just there. If you place a $50 order in my online store, you will receive kits to make these projects yourself. And if you place a $75 order, you will also receive a pack of the gems that are used in these projects. So make sure you use this host code when you're ordering if you want to receive those things. Stampin' Up! Is really not allowing us to go back and add host codes the way I used to. So these are tonight's projects. If you want just dimensions for this, make sure that you are subscribed to my email list by Sunday night. The email comes out Monday morning and has a link to the PDF. So we are going to start here. And I'm just going to prop that up so I can see what I'm supposed to be getting up to. And I thought I was being all super organized, and then my daughter came in and just trashed everything. So we'll see how things go tonight. I was really frustrated with her. She just doesn't quite get that when mom says to give me a minute, I actually mean it. So anyway, we are going to use the Elegant Eucalyptus 3D embossing folder. So these are really awesome because they are narrow and they go through the mini embossing machines. And I didn't pull the plates for this, but as you can see, it fits perfectly. However, the panel that I want to emboss tonight is actually 4 by 5 1/4, which is too big for that machine. So I'm going to bring in my full size instead. For this, I am using just my number 1 plate, and then there will be the embossing folder, and then my number 4 plate, the gray plate. So that is the sandwich that you need for the 3D folders. Now I'm going to take my panel of Mango Melody, and this color combination, I don't do oranges very well if you don't already know that. And so I have been really surprised that I've been using more of the Mango Melody lately. But it's really fun, and I think it shows nicely with the pink and the green in this as well. It's polished pink and melon mambo and mossy meadow are the colors that I chose here. So I'm trying to do this without shaking you guys too much, but I really want you to see how this process works. I am putting a strip across the center of this panel, so you won't actually see where these overlap, as long as I do it right. So I am just going to set this in here like that and run it through one more time, and that way we'll have the pretty eucalyptus leaves at the top and the bottom. And so did all of you have a nice Valentine's? I know it's I mean, it's totally a Hallmark holiday, but then at the same time, it's kind of disappointing when it's not something special. So hopefully you guys all felt special and had fun. Joe and I really didn't do anything day of because I don't know, work week and kids and whatever just gets a little bit challenging. But today we went to lunch together, which was really nice. We do not take very many opportunities to go on dates. So this is a piece of the Enjoy the Journey designer series paper, and that stack is what we are going to use for all of tonight's projects. And it is one of the items from the mini catalog that was just added to the celebration offering, which I just think is wonderful because it's beautiful. So, and it's funny, the bundle that's with it is called Enjoy the Ride, I think. And I like it. It's really cool, but I just couldn't quite figure out what I would do with it. So I haven't played with it. I didn't order it. All right, so there is that. And I actually am always really bugged when there's overhang. So I am just going to trim that off really quickly. So Jane, that sounds really nice. Did you make it all or did Brad do it? I know you said he's a good cook as well. Okay, that's better. So yeah, delicious evening, it sounds like. I'd have definitely taken some of that chocolate cake if you had wanted to share. My sugar addiction is a problem. And it's looking like it's going to be a crumble week. So if you aren't familiar with Crumble, their cookies are to die for, and they do different flavors every week. And so some weeks I look at it and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't need that in my life, even though I'm sure it's fine. But this week is definitely not that. So I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this stack to my card base. Oh, so you did the baking. Nice. Was it a molten chocolate cake? Like, did you have to do... I never can remember if those are eggless or flourless, but anyway. Yes, crumble is addicting, Janie. It's a problem. All right, now we are going to stamp our focal image. And for this, because it is kind of big, I am going to bring in my Stamparatus. What I have been doing lately is, and you can tell I've used this grid paper a few times, but it still works. So I am just going to set this up in the corner here. That's how I know exactly where it is and where I want it to be. And then I'm going to bring in my Melon Mambo ink pad and ink this up. And we'll see how we do with the first round. The other nice thing about using the Stamparatus is that you can have a do-over if you need it. So that actually looks pretty good. I think we'll just roll with that and set this aside. Oh, that's right. You told me you had found that substitution. That's really cool. All right. And then I just want to use my Memento black ink for the sentiment because it's just pretty basic and straightforward. So I've got a little strip of Mango Melody. Is that right? Yes. All of the alliterations really, especially at the end of the day, I struggle with. Okay, so this sentiment is from that same stamp set as our focal image, the Simply Succulents. And I am hoping that I got this pretty straight. So that looks good. Set that off to the side. And then I'm just going to grab my snips here and snip off the end like that, just to give it a little more visual interest, I guess. Not just straight line, or not like, horizontal and vertical lines, I guess. So anyway, we'll just finish putting all of these things together, and this one will be just about done. And generally speaking, I would also put a card liner inside, but I don't think I cut one for tonight, which is fine. I can go back and add it later. This one I didn't decide to embellish the inside at all with, oh my goodness, I'm struggling with words, with any stamping or designer series paper or anything like that. But one of my favorite things to do is definitely use a strip of the same designer series paper pattern for the inside, just so that it looks more cohesive all the way through. You can also use the same pattern of designer series paper to decorate the flap of your envelope, which is fun. Or you can stamp on the front of your envelope. Any of those things really pulls your entire project together and makes people even more aware of how special it is. So just going to line that up like that. And then when I am offsetting, so I'm going to have the sentiment hanging over the part that's popped up. So I'm going to do a dimensional to adhere it here, and then just a little bit of glue to stick it there. You could always, of course, add some Wink of Stella to your focal image, or do some splattering on that little square with the same or different color marker, whatever you really wanted to do to make it special. Oh, and you know what? I think I had done this a little bit differently, but that is going to be fine. So there is that, and now we just need to add some gems, and this card will be good to go. So I love these solid faceted gems. They are so pretty. And I just feel like I haven't used them enough because they're actually in the annual catalog, and I just kind of didn't notice them for a long time. So trying to make up for that now, because you guys, the end of this catalog is going to be here before we know it. And I will tell you right now that people go crazy at the end of the catalog period. So if there are things that you've had your eye on and just haven't gotten around to ordering, don't wait, because once that retiring list comes out, my guess is it's going to come out at the end of March. Things will just be while supplies last, and they will not last. So especially things like your colors, you need to make sure you stock up on your cardstock, your ink refills, all of those kinds of things before that list comes out. So there is that card. I'm glad you like it. And now, so as a reminder, I send out all of the PDFs on Mondays. So if you want the instructions for these in PDF format, make sure you're signed up for my list. And I meant to show you this earlier and I forgot, but if you shop in my online store, then as a thank you for a $35 order, you receive the Sweet Stampin' Friends tutorial, which is a group that I'm in. There's 10 of us, and every month we put together this bundle, and it's so nice. And this is one of the projects that's in it. I didn't want to print all 10, but you can see how easy it is to follow along with the instructions. And let's see, I was going to show you too. This is the card that I did for the Sweet Stampin' Friends, and you can see that I use those same solid faceted gems. So there is that one. And then for $100 orders in my online store, I send out the Sweethearts tutorials. This is a group of women and demonstrators from around the world that I am working with, and I think this one has 18 this time. And these are also really well organized, easy to follow. So great opportunities to get some inspiration. There's no set bundle that we use for either of them. It's just kind of either along a birthday card theme or you know, just anything from this catalog or whatever. This is my Sweethearts tutorial card. So I used Queen Bees for that one. So anyway, if you feel like you should have gotten any of these and you haven't, please let me know. I try really hard to be consistent with sending them all out and, you know, life. So, yeah, just let me know. I'm always happy to correct my mistakes. Thank you, Janie. You know, of course, I'm partial to the bee as well. So this is our next project, and it is a fun fold, but it is really a very simple fold. So I will show you how to do this one. And I brought in the Majestic Mountain bundle. It's not actually a bundle anymore because we've had it for a long time, but it's got stamps and dies. And the stamps are really cool because they are reversibles. So you can stamp all of this detail. Sorry, there's glare. All of this detail in a dark color and then come along with a lighter color and just kind of shade over it. So those are really fun. And we are just going to use one stamp out of it today. And that stamp set doesn't have any sentiments in it. So I thought that you might want a little sneak peek of something that's coming on March 1st. So this stamp set is Irresistible Blooms. I might have shown it last week as well, but I pulled this I couldn't be happier sentiment because you always can send a card to a friend to cheer them up or just to let them know you love them. And I love the fonts in this. The flowers are also really fun, although we have like a bazillion sets of flowers, so I can understand that being less of a draw. But anyway, let's get this one going here. So I did already do the dry embossing for this project, and you can see this is a new embossing folder that's also coming on March 1st. So what Stampin' Up! Is doing is having online only release on March 1st. And so they have allowed us to pre-order a few of the projects, but not everything. So even I don't know all the things that are coming, which is kind of fun and kind of frustrating. But anyway, I think that you're going to really like the projects that come out, or not projects, products. Sorry, trying to decide which side I want down. So that is something to look for. And of course, I'll tell you more as the time gets closer. And I have some fun news about that Irresistible Blooms set that's coming as well. Is that what it's called? Yes. Okay, so this base is totally normal, except that I folded the front panel in half again and folded it back on itself. And now I am just going to set that on there like so. And I really didn't want very big borders for this, so that there's not going to be a ton showing, but I think it looks really nice. And then we'll add this to the inside of the card. And again, not much in the way of borders. So I always like to make sure that the lines match up because it makes me crazy when things don't look straight. So now we've got that. And then this is another panel of that Designer Series paper. And this is this sheet. Let me see if I've got the other half of it. It's purples on the one side and greens on the other side. And it is stunning. So you can see just really, really gorgeous. And it comes like, you know, it's put together like this. And you just cut it down the center at 6 inches, and then you can make really gorgeous card fronts without even doing much. So I did just cut this down, and we'll add it to with the basic white panel. And that then, let's see, will become the front of the card. We're just going to add some of our very skinny metallic woven ribbon. And this comes in all of the current in colors. So the newest set of in colors. So the Orchid Oasis and Parakeet Party and Tahitian Tide and Strawberry Sorbet and Starry Sky. So here I am actually using the Orchid Oasis spool of ribbon. That's not long enough. Instead of the Starry Sky, because I just felt like it looked better when I held up both of them. And I will tell you, I actually did not feel like Stampin' Up! Quite hit the mark on the color coordination like they usually do. The ribbons don't match perfectly. Generally speaking, that is one of the things that Stampin' Up! Is known for. It's just the same color across product lines. But that's okay. So, just going to snip this, and there is the panel, and I popped this up with dimensionals on this panel only. So when you go to adhere it, you do want to make sure that you don't put adhesive on the entire back of the panel, because then your card won't open. So just going to grab a few of these, and I do want to make sure that I put enough so that it will still adhere nicely. So I think that that should do it. And this then will go just like that. And we'll finish the front of that here in just a second, but I'm going to go ahead and get the inside done as well. So I'm just going to put another strip of that same panel of Designer Series paper on the inside of my card, and it is going to go just like that. So make sure that that's reasonably straight. Okay, now the last thing that I want to do before we finish up this card is I'm going to stamp some trees here so that we can decorate the inside of the card a little bit more too. But where did they go? Okay, so we have this set of 2 trees, and what I want to do, oh my goodness, where did everything go? Okay, we are going to stamp in Versamark. And so anytime that you're heat embossing, if you want to make sure that you don't have static electricity that will hold the embossing powder where you don't want it, then you just want to take this embossing buddy, and mine is old, but we have the new embossing essentials pack that includes the embossing buddy and a set of reverse tweezers and a tray. So it is really handy to have those things. The reverse tweezers help you not burn your fingers when you are holding like a sentiment strip. So that's really handy. All right, so now that I've got my trees stamped, I'm just going to come in here with some clear embossing folder or powder and see how much of a mess I can make. All right, so that got on there just right. So I'm just going to go over to my heat tool and get this all done for you. And with the way it's plugged in, I cannot do this on camera, so I apologize because I know it's fun to watch. So you could also do the embossing in white if you felt like that would stand out more. I wanted it to be you know, kind of subtle, not a huge thing. You don't want to hold the heat on it too long or you will burn it. But that looks like perhaps I didn't hold it quite long enough. You want it to turn really nice and shiny. And if it doesn't turn nice and shiny, then your powder may be old, but we got this one to work, so we're good there. And now I have pulled the Majestic Mountain dies. So you can cut out the whole mountain range, you can cut out the tree line, and then there's these detailed trees as well. And so this is the die that we want to use here. And then I also ran this one through. Oh, if it will come out. And I actually ran this through on an adhesive sheet so that the tree would be a little bit easier to adhere to the front. Hey, Kelly, thanks for being here. I'm glad that you caught me. I've still got the rest of this card and one more, and then at the end I'll show the first one too, so that you know what you're headed back to the start for. So I'm just going to run this through my cut and emboss machine, and all of the dies in that Majestic Mountain set will go through on the mini machine as well. So if you're looking through our catalog at dies, there is a mini machine symbol for all of the die sets that are compatible with the mini machine. So it just helps you kind of know whether you have what you need. All right, so I'm just going to poke out some of this stuff because it doesn't always pop out nicely. You can use the Take Your Pick tool has a brush end that you can use, but I find that often I still end up doing this. So just start here. So almost done. Okay, so what those adhesive sheets do, you stick the sheet to the back of a piece of cardstock and then you run it through your cut and emboss machine, and then that turns it into a sticker, which is awesome and so convenient. So this one is going to go on the front of our card, just like that. And then this little one that we just stamped and heat embossed is going to go inside our card. So we will get this on here. And again, this is just really simple addition to the inside of the project, but I think that it looks nice and just carries the theme through the entire project. So get this in here. And I just seriously can't tell you how excited I am about the embossing folder that I used for this, because it comes in a set of 3 and they are all just kind of like you could use them on every single project and never feel like you had used it too much. So I think that's really fun. Okay, now we've got just a strip of designer or basic white there, and somewhere I have a sentiment for this. What did I do? I guess I didn't pre-load it. So it is this one. And I use these blocks that my mother gave me that have these scalloped edges and grid lines, and I love them. The Stampin' Up! Blocks are really, really nice in terms of being able to hold them because of the way the sides are kind of just designed to make it really easy to grip. Oh, and that's what I did for my team for Christmas, the queen bees. But I would really, really like for them to add grid lines. I just think that it helps a lot. So I'm going to bring in my Starry Sky ink and get this all inked up. And we will see how straight that is. Perfect. And then, you know, one of my absolute favorite punches is the Banner Pick-a-Punch. So I am just going to slip this in here and then flip it over and punch, and there is that sentiment. And we will adhere this to the front of the card and be done, except for some gems. So this fold is striking, like it's really cool to have it open up like that, but so easy. So if you are not comfortable doing a lot of fun folds, this is a great place to start. You really don't even have to remember any measurements or anything. You just fold the front panel in half. So these are technically Night of Navy, but I felt like they matched really, really well to the Starry Sky and the purples. So I just went ahead and used them. And get these all on like that. And there is that second project. So I hope you like that. I love the purples. If you didn't know, purple is my absolute favorite color. So that card just makes me all warm and happy. Okay, here is our final card, except that I somehow managed to untie the bow here. So we'll just fix that. This fold is a little bit more involved, but still totally doable. And I got it from Jackie Bolhuis. She has been doing thank you, Kelly. I'm glad you like that that second project. Jackie Bolhuis has been doing a monthly fun fold class, and she has come up with some that I'm like, yeah, I don't need that in my life, but a lot of them are really awesome, and this is one of the really cool ones. So I am just going to show you how to do that. And for this one, you really do want to have the Stampin' trimmer because it just makes this much easier. So I'll bring in all of my pieces. We are starting once again with just a basic 5.5 by 8.5 card base, and we are going to start in the top right corner and bring it down. No, sorry, that's top left. Start in the top left corner, bring it down to the bottom right corner. So there is that. Well, I'm glad you're starting to like them, Janie. It really, you know, certain ones add a lot to a project. I just always say that if my recipient can't figure out how to open it, it's too much. So now I've got this piece already cut and scored. And then the last thing that I need to do is just cut my Designer Series paper panel so that it will also line up, you know, so it's cut the same way. So we'll do that. And it's just so much easier to line up in this gutter than to try to use like a guillotine cutter for doing that little cut. So now I'm going to put all of these where they go. And this one is going to go right here. And then this will go just the same. So that cut line will line up. I feel like we should be playing music or something, but I'm pretty sure that when you do things like that now, Facebook tags your videos and says that you have copyright infringements. So it's kind of problematic. And then I was thinking the other day we could totally do like book club while we make cards, and that would be fun too. All right, so this, I gotta make sure I'm doing things in the right order. I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this inside the card. I started a book last week, and I really try hard not to give up on things because there's almost always some redeeming value, but oh my gosh, this book was so weird. So 30 pages into this like 500-page tome, I just decided, no, I don't need this in my life. So I turned it back into the library. Fortunately, at least it was a library book and not one that I had purchased. I'm glad you like the fold. But now I'm reading like 3 different books because why just read one? One is called Comparisonitis, which in this age of social media influencers and just constantly looking at what other people are up to, I feel probably has some really important things for me to learn. So I'm reading that, and then I'm reading something about, I can't remember what it's called, but Earn and Learn or something like that, to help your children learn how to manage money. And since Jonah is always asking for ways to make money, I figure that's probably a good thing to look at. And then, I picked up a book that's like the third in a series that I started reading a while ago. So that one should be nice and light and easy. Okay, so this project also uses I think it's called the Essential Tag Punch. And this is one of the new additions to the Celebration offering. It's free with a $50 purchase, and it's just so handy. So there is that. And apparently I did not manage to cut a card liner for this either. So that I will actually show you how to do once we get the rest of it done. I set ribbon somewhere. Now, where did it go? All right, so we are going to use this natural finish ribbon, and it is so wide. So these wide ones rarely tie bows nicely, and I just really wanted a bow on here. So what I'm going to do is wrap the natural finish ribbon and then tie linen thread around it. So we will just do this, and I don't want to add any more bulk than I have to, but I also need my seam to be hideable, if that's a word. So what I'm going to do is put this on about like that, and then I'm just going to bring in some Scotch tape to hold that ribbon in place, and it doesn't take much. So just do, I can get it back off of me. Oh my gosh. We'll just do like that. Okay, then I want my linen thread, and this is a brand new spool, so I gotta find the end here, which who knew would be such a challenge. That was probably not a good plan. Wow. I am impressed at their tuck job on this end. So we are just going to do that because eventually it will work out. All right, so I'm going to feed this through here. Right, Kelly? Like, I think that's the worst one I've ever seen. Usually I can find it. But that is okay because I use so much of it that I'll go through that in no time. All right, so I'm just going to kind of bunch it up like so, and then tie my little bow. And then I'll fix the ends over here. That's a little long. And now we just glue these two together and pop them up with dimensionals, and we're pretty much done. So I think that I put glue where I didn't exactly want it, but that'll be okay. All right, so let that do its thing. I'm trying to decide if this is actually going to cover that tape, and I think it's not, so I'm just going to move that. Yay for it being the kind that peels off, okay. And I really didn't anticipate this being the thing that would give me trouble tonight, but yeah, no. Okay, now just a couple of dimensionals back here. And because they are going over that ribbon, I just want to do a few more than I might normally. I would probably normally only do 2 for that. So I don't want to lose my bow underneath my tag, so I'm going to do that. And now we get to use some of our Melon Mambo gems for this. So do one right there in the center, and then let's see. You know, you would think that every card would embellish the same way, but it isn't exactly. So kind of got to figure out where I want them. I think that will do. Okay, so yes, that tag punch is actually way more fun than it looks in the catalog. So I strongly encourage you to order that with your next order. So I'm just going to bring back in all of the projects that we made tonight. And if you would like to receive the PDF for these projects, make sure that you are on my email list. If you would like to receive kits to make one of each of these cards, make sure that you place an order in my online store with that host code. And what else do I need to tell you? I think that's it. So I do have the special offers to get the kits and also the gems if you place a $75 order. And yes, Janie, lots of things you should go do. And then you should post the things that you make in our CJ Stampers group. I always love to see what you guys are creating. And oh, hey, Julie, thank you. I'm glad you like the cards. So this is the paper that we used tonight. So you can see lots of patterns It's the Enjoy the Journey. It's a free option. And then we used the Essentials Tag Punch, another free option. And everything that I did tonight, you could totally do with whatever stamp set you have on hand. So don't let not having exactly what I used hold you back from getting these card kits or trying these projects, because you just need kind of a large stamp for the focal image on this one. And then everything else is sentiments. So, because you can totally do without the mountains on the inside here. Or sorry, those aren't mountains. The trees, you can do without the trees, because this one will come already die cut for you as a sticker. So you will be able to get the general idea without that one stamp. So I hope that you like these. I will really look forward to seeing what you come up with. And I will have, theoretically, assuming my paper pumpkin gets here, I will have something sort of based on the paper pumpkin for next Thursday. So thank you all so much. If you have any questions about anything I talked about, make sure you just message me or text me or whatever, and I will be happy to talk to you. Take care. Have a wonderful long weekend. Bye.